Welcome back, everybody. Today is October 12th, 2012. No, 10th. God, I'm losing my mind.
2012?
I said
No,
October
it's the 10th.
2025.
Okay, Gustavo can't do it, so I'll do it.
I'm
Welcome
losing
back,
it.
everybody, to episode 4 of Season 2 of Bear Down Breakdown. It is 10/10/25, and we got a pretty good show coming for you here. So are you guys ready?
Yes, we are. We have
All
a lot
right.
to dive into. My apologies, man. You wouldn't know about being sick, all right? My cognitive
I wouldn't know
ability's
about
gone.
being sick. I take all my vitamins, and I eat all my proteins, and get my veggies in,
take
and
my
I go to the
vitamins
gym.
in,
So,
all right?
you know. That's why I'm not sick. If you started going to the Ray with me, you would know. You know, we'd be in good physical shape. You know, all the girls would love
I'm
you.
just sick already as it is, man. 10/10/25, Season 2.
Yes.
So we're back, man. Let's get to it.
We are 3
Bi-week recap.
days. Yeah, gosh. Bi-week recap. Not really much.
Yeah, I mean,
not much for us at least.
not stressful.
Yeah, I would say it just kind of showed how when people get bored and it's just like the off season, we start throwing out these crazy trades.
Yeah.
Do we even think that that's going to happen? We might as well get into this here with the trades.
I think we should.
How do we feel about that? Do you think that that's a genuine possibility of us trading for somebody like Breece Hall, Devon Achane, Trey Hendrickson, somebody else, maybe who is it?
Jeffrey Simmons.
Jeffrey Simmons, Kayvon Thibodeau, all of these different guys, you know, like how do you feel? Are you comfortable with us trading for them, and what are you comfortable with us trading for?
All right, here's the thing. We always say that we want to trade, and I don't know how many rumors are always in coming from the off season and even to the regular season. We always say we should be buyers at the deadline, especially if we're playing as good as we are now. But then again, we never do. Not a shocker. Ryan Poles likes to fall asleep at the wheel. But I think we should. If we want to compete well and we want to actually do something, then we should go out and make a move for a running back. Should we not? Because Swift has been abysmal. That's one. Then Breece Hall's on a contract year, so he should be generally cheap, right? He's coming off some sort of injuries. The Jets are 0-5. They need to sell. Like, they need to get as much rebuilding pieces as they can.
Trade us Justin Fields back.
Yeah, God, what a waste that would be. I would love to go ahead and call. I would just pick up the phone, be like, hey, what do you want for Mr. Breece Hall? Because I think if we get Breece Hall, we're automatically a confirmed top 10 offense. I think we need to go get Breece Hall. What is your opinion on that?
But what would you pay for him?
What would I pay? I wouldn't give more than a third-round pickup.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think higher than a third is too steep.
I would say third and a player.
I agree.
I would say we can dump off Swift. I think that if they're willing to take him, that's one thing.
Yeah, please do.
I think it would have to be third and Swift for him.
I agree.
Where they're getting a guy back, you know, before, who is it, Braylon Allen can come back.
Yeah, Braylon Allen. I think he might want a receiver because outside of Wilson, there's nobody there.
Yeah, but we can't trade him more. Like, I don't.
No, we can't.
I want to give it a year. A year
agree.
under Ben Johnson, see how he does. Like, I think every time he's played against Washington, he's done good. So,
do you want to see if they want Olamide Zaccheaus?
Olamide Zaccheaus.
I mean,
That would
help
be,
us.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad piece, but I think, you know, we can also even consider throwing in Cole Kmet.
We could.
That could be like a player swap. We could swap Kmet with them, but, you know, it's really going to depend. Like, what are they going to want? What are we willing to give up? And is Poles going to actually wake up
when
for
he never
once
does,
and actually do something? But I think, you know, first guy that I would say trade for is Breece Hall.
Absolutely.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But second guy that I would say on my hierarchy of people we should trade for, Trey Hendrickson.
Should be. No doubt about it. The Bengals are terrible. You know that.
Yeah. But I think the biggest thing that's going to get in the way is his age and that contract. That
Agreed.
1 year, what is it, $31 million?
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
He's going to want more, too.
Yeah. It would have to be a situation similar to maybe, you know, when we traded Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Where hopefully what we give up is like, you know, they can kind of pay off some of his contract too. Maybe we split it 50-50 down the middle. But frankly, you know, I just think that Trey Hendrickson, he would be really good for us.
He would.
But I also just don't think that we're there yet. I really don't think that we are at that point where we should go out for a guy like Trey Hendrickson. Maybe next person that I would say, Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yes.
I would say that he would make the most sense. He's young. He's kind of like a developmental player.
Not playing much for the Giants
not,
either.
Well, I think it's also just, you know, if you saw that game last night, they have such a front-heavy defense that it's almost hard for him, you know, somebody's got to get attention. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Thibodeau kind of gets over-attended to, and then it leaves guys like Brian Burns open for, like, sacks, guys like,
Abdul
you know, Dexter
Carter.
Lawrence. Yeah, Abdul Carter. Like, he's kind of the odd man out, and, you know, he's still good. He's still very much that player from Oregon,
Young.
but maybe kind of, you know, dialed down a little bit. But I would say if we can get him for, like, a fourth, perfect. Like,
Yeah.
that would be amazing. Even if we don't have to ship somebody out.
I
But,
agree.
what's your take on this? Do you think that we should go out for Thibodeau or no?
See, I like the Thibodeau move a lot. If you and me are on the same page about getting Brees Hall first. I think a run game is absolutely vital to a Ben Johnson play offense because play action is huge. But going down to another player, because here's the thing. If we do bring on Thibodeau, where would he really play for us as well? Dio's on too big of a contract to bench him / drop his roll down. Montez is the same situation. We're getting Austin Booker back, which we'll touch in a minute here. Where would he really be another rotational pass rusher? Unless you want to try him inside, but he's a little light to be inside. And I much rather would have Jervon, Grady, and Shamar Turner on the inside. So at that point, you kind of think about, like, hey,
Yeah.
where does he truly fit in this scheme? And then would Dennis Allen want him too is another question. Would Dennis Allen welcome a player like Kayvon Thibodeau, who's been known to have character issues, and that's not the scheme and culture that Ben Johnson wants at the moment. So I want you to touch on that for me about his character problems and his concerns and how Dennis Allen would appreciate him.
I think that's a good point. I didn't really think about that. But, I would just say he could probably swap him with Dio. I feel like Dio was probably the most productive when he's swapping in and out with
I
somebody.
would love Dio on the inside.
Yeah, so having somebody like Dio and Kayvon kind of on a rotation, I think that would be perfect. That would be a very deadly pass rush, and then it would open up Montez. It opens up a lot of people. I just think the more threats that we have and the more ways that we can threaten different offenses with our pressure, with our secondary, with our linebackers, it's going to be essential, especially in these coming games where we have a lot of mobile quarterbacks we're going to have to worry about.
Yep.
I think it's going to be invaluable, that pass rush. So I'm really hoping that we can get something worked out. But
I think we should.
Yeah.
And I want to mention that, like you said as well, like even if Lamar doesn't play, like Rattler's still pretty mobile. Like he's been doing enough. I mean, they beat the Giants, who beat the Eagles yesterday. We're going to play the Giants. Dart's clearly mobile.
Scadaboo is going to be a problem for us.
Exactly. And our run defense has been how bad? Like that's another conversation as well. The run defense is a legitimate problem. You add more guys that can cause harm and make the defensive coordinators think a little bit harder every week game planning for the Bears when you bring in a guy like Kayvon Thibodeau. Because Dio is 6'6", 281, great threat down the middle. Put him inside along with Jervon, Grady, and a few other guys. He would be a lethal weapon. And now you have Kayvon and Montez on the other side with an additional purely pass rush heavy guy in Austin Booker. Then now you can switch it up a little bit, especially if we get TJ Edwards back. We're going to touch on it in a little bit here that we're getting a lot of players back from
Bye. So the injury report just came out today. We have some DMPs, we have some fulls, and we have some kind of limited. So we'll start off with the did not practice. Grady Jarrett, who has kind of been pretty quiet so far this season. I feel like, maybe he's going to be one of those guys that was kind of a bust of a free agency signing.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't been terribly impactful, but I hope I'm wrong. But the guys who are limited, Kyler Gordon, who is likely playing, which is going to be great. Colston Loveland, he's looking like he's going to be back, and Darnell Wright. Everyone else was also a full participant. You had Brisker, TJ, Jonah Jackson, Kyle Monunga, and Cairo Santos. So we're getting pretty much all of our guys back. We should be in a position to win this game against the Commanders. I think that, getting TJ back, he's kind of like our sheriff in the middle. Tremaine is great, but him with TJ, gold.
Even better.
That's all we need. So I'm really excited to have him back. Brisker, I'm hoping that he's well. He usually seems pretty sick.
Intense.
Or concussed. So, you kind of have to manage with him. But Jonah Jackson has been really efficient. I think that's something that hasn't really been highlighted. Monungai, we started to see more of a role for him. And Cairo, got to have him healthy.
Need a kicker. Can't trust Jake Moody out there.
Oh, God, no Moody. But, it's looking good. It's looking like we have the facilities to beat Washington. But how are you feeling about that?
I feel like you always got to be nervous against Washington.
Yeah.
They dismantled the Chargers, but we're not the Chargers. We're a completely different team. We're better offensively in terms of scheming and play calling. I would not like Greg Roman at all. I think Harbaugh should fire him, but that's another story for another day. Everybody coming back is helpful. It's good. It's nice. But it doesn't mean anything until I see it actually on the field, because are they going to be on the snap count? Are they going to be playing as well as we expect them to? What are their expected roles? I know the guy who are going to be full back to the regular roles are going to be Kyler Gordon, Brisker, and Edwards, and, of course, Jonah Jackson. But, like, these other guys, like, should we be worried? Are they only full? Because don't forget, like, earlier this week, some of these guys were limited, didn't play, training on the sideline. Like those situations get you a little bit worried, you know? So when you think of that, you want to kind of understand, all right, are they really in full capacity or are they only in full capacity today? And we have a little bit to worry about. We will see. And we'll be right back on this next ad break, guys. This is Bear Down Breakdown. I'm your host, Gustavo, with my co-host, Ronan Clark. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to Bear Down Breakdown. Ronan Clark is a little off track, man.
Oh, we were
talking about Ubisoft and all that. Come on, man.
we had a crazy poll. This guy, he was saying that he plays Project Zomboid, and I remember playing that. That's in my the free Xbox games that I get. No. What?
No. It's
Here.
No, so Project Zomboid, it's like a game on Steam. It's like an early access, like zombie survival. Like it's like ultra
I
realistic.
know that one. I'm thinking
booted off the line.
Zombie Eye.
Yeah,
whatever.
no, zombie. Yeah.
That's
like the one that's kind of like DayZ, right? Yeah.
Okay, so we do know ball. We do know.
No,
someone.
yeah. It's the one where you get trapped in the house and you have to
we don't talk about just the Bears here, guys. We talk about everything here, but mainly about the Bears.
We're a diverse audience, you know.
We are a diverse audience.
But back to the show.
Speaking of diverse, let's talk about this diverse passing attack. Rome Odunze, number 15, Vegas man himself.
Yeah.
15 out of UW Washington Huskies. Talk to me about it, man.
Gosh, his just ascension so far has been amazing. Like, just amazing to watch, amazing to just see with your own eyes. Froma-Dunze, dude.
Froma-Dunze. You seen those Randy Moss pictures of him?
Oh my gosh, yeah. With the
like
3 touchdowns, and then it's
yeah.
got Rome's face.
Yeah, and then like half of it is like picture of him and Randy Moss with the fro.
I know, dude. That's the method.
He is the bro. He's
grow the fro. Next time you see me in the studio, I'm gonna have an afro.
Okay.
The show's about to take off.
Oh, hey, it's already taking off right now. You're taking the next step in your development right now.
I know it's happening, but he's been amazing. Like he just gets open in space.
Yes.
He knows how to take advantage of those routes.
Him and Caleb just have unbelievable chemistry.
Yes. And like he just knows where he is. And that's been the best part. And I'm really hoping that they take advantage of Washington's pretty poopy secondary.
Yeah.
You know, like
their secondary is not highly graded at all.
It's really just Lattimore.
Yeah. And Lattimore sucks too. Like Trey Amos has been good. Mike Sanistro is pretty good for them. Outside of that, like I can't tell you another player on that secondary.
No. You had who's at 13? Didn't he get dropped?
Oh, Emmanuel Forbes. He's
Forbes.
horrible.
Yeah,
he's on the Rams now. Doing nothing for them, by the way. But a little bit of Rome Odunze. Antoine Randall L., our assistant head coach / wide receiver coach, brought over from the Lions, but also a legendary player himself, won a couple of Super Bowls with the Steelers. Ain't that right?
I wouldn't call him legendary.
I would say so.
I call him storied.
Okay, I can agree with that. Regardless of the matter and what we decide him to be, he is a mismatch nightmare. Can we agree?
Yeah.
6'4", absolute speedster. He's so quick for his size. Great hands, has an occasional drop or two, but it's going to happen. Like, he's still very, very young. In comparison to Marvin Harrison Jr., like, we need to have that conversation now. Comparing him to other receivers this year, Marvin is the nothing. Brian Thomas has been on a major drop-off. Malik Neighbors is out for the year, and he was doing decent before. Like, compared to him, other wide receiver twos, where do you grade his progress, Ronan?
I'd say he's number 2. It's Neighbors.
I agree.
It's Odunze. And
Thomas.
And then Harrison. And then you got McConkey, but he's a 2.
He's fallen off, though.
And compared to Quentin Johnston, who has been a
unbelievable.
Shock. He's been crazy, right? Like
but that's what you expect out of your first round wide receiver.
But they now have a good core. They have Johnston, they have Allen, they have there's no reason why they shouldn't be winning games.
I agree.
So it's Harbaugh, Michigan. Blah.
Yeah, running the ball.
He can only win with Blake Corum.
Dude, he's on the Rams too, which is real funny. Oh,
he's
my.
Undersized running back.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford and the Rams. That's where he's at right now. Mm-hmm. Unreal.
Isn't playing either.
Yeah.
Kyron Williams.
God, man. I mean, who fumbled the game away, if you remember that, against the 49ers, which was crazy last Thursday. But how should we continue using Rome Odunze? And what are your thoughts on the season so far and what he can be projected to be?
Deep ball guy. Give him those deep balls. Give him those deep passes. Give him all those long routes where he can just go long, use his height, get those matchup nightmares where he's against somebody kind of smaller, less physical. Like, get him out in space. Get him playing on those safeties in zone because he's going to outwork them. There's a lot of ways that we can use him. I think he's going to be a big factor in this game. But also, DJ Moore.
Yes.
I think,
we had a conversation about him.
At some point, there's going to be, like, a lot more pressure on Rome. And so how DJ responds is going to be so big. Like, we need DJ to step up. It's not like, because people are going to be, oh, Luther needs to step up. Zacchaeus needs to step up. No, Roma's the number one. He is still the number one wide receiver. Roma Dunze is the guy right now. But
Agreed.
DJ is the one.
Okay.
And he should be the one because he is the alpha receiver. But he's not playing like that right now. And he needs to mentally get in that headspace of, I'm the number one guy. I should be getting the ball. I should be getting ready for the ball to be thrown to me. I need to be, preparing like the number one guy. And when he has those kind of moments where it just seems like he doesn't care, like he still is having those. So I'm really hoping that this Washington game is like, I don't even care, like one touchdown game for him.
Yeah.
Because he has their number. And he has their number on a probably better defense than they had. Last year they had a much better defense than they did this year.
Yes.
They lost a lot of those guys. So, yeah, they need to, DJ needs to step up. Rome is doing great. Like, Burden, let's hope we get some end-around stuff with him. Maybe we, learn from how they use, who is it, Deebo Samuel.
Yes.
I never understood the trade for Deebo.
He hasn't really done much either.
I thought that was so dumb.
But it's interesting, and I'm glad you mentioned it. For DJ Moore, he doesn't deserve the criticism he's getting because he's definitely taken a little bit of the weight off of Rome and dragging players with them because he does a picks. Like, I know you've seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
He'll pick the players off. He'll take the linebacker with him on a crossing, leaving Roma Dunze on the right side to kind of be like that Z receiver.
Yeah.
But we really need, I guess, DJ to be our X-factor receiver, the X-man on that left side, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's capable. I want to see him more in yak situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's unbelievable after the catch. He's so quick on his feet. I want to keep trying him at running back. I feel like he doesn't get enough touches at running back either.
Or just those little end-around things.
That's what I'm saying.
We could totally mess with or defense. Sorry. Oh, jeez. They were telling us no burping on air, and then what do? We go and get pastrami
Immediately,
sandwiches.
yeah, pastrami.
We should have waited until after to go get food. But
Starving.
back on the point. I would say the best method for us is to kind of get DJ on the right side, Luther on one side, kind of do that little crisscross.
Yes.
Just do that pass. That would be like.
And Ben Johnson's capable of doing
Oh
those.
my God, he's so capable. Why hasn't he? That's
He's done some, and I understand not wanting to do it every time because there's a good chance it goes for a tackle of loss. Like that's very real because we've seen it happen before, and teams are trying to replicate that. If you notice,
But it's got to be an RPO type of thing.
It does, yeah.
Caleb has to be able to read that. There's got to be a first option and a second option, and there has to be tells, and it has to change. Like the play calling has to adapt to what's going on the field.
Yeah.
Like where maybe if Luther. If they see something, Luther's the one guy. If they've been getting more pressure on this side, DJ's the one guy now. Like,
Yes.
there's got to be like a little bit of difference here, and I just don't understand where we're not getting that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like, what do you think?
I agree with you 100%. I think Ben Johnson's capable of it, but we've mentioned this before. What if he's just saving them for later in the season? Remember what he did with Trapillo? What he did with Benedette? Like, he finally cut ties with Braxton, and I'm pretty sure we can either see him traded or gone soon after this year. Rome is using being perfectly. No complaints about Rome. Great at what he's doing. I would like to see some more screens, RPOs, or you know what I would like to see? I would like to see a direct snap to DJ Moore out of the backfield. Like
That'd be fun.
that'd be great. Line up Caleb at wide receiver and a direct snap to Rome. Or not Rome, but DJ. Even Rome too would be good. But I feel like
Yeah.
DJ's a little more electric.
Or
on his
even
feet.
Luther.
Yeah, I mean, they're all electric. They're quick. They're elusive. They're playmakers. Give it to DJ. Let him work with his feet, make moves, make guys miss, and we know what he's capable of. And his hands are almost a surefire thing every single time. And I would like to see some end zone deep shots, maybe some slants, give him a chance to run after the ball, some crossers, or some posts, or even like an out route. He's so shifty, like his hips lie to the DBs. Fake he's going inside, get that inside leverage, and immediately cook to the left and go out. I think he could be really responsive and very well in those situations. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely. But I would say another guy who has been not quietly, I'd say he's been quite good and quite in your face about it. Tyreek. Tyreek is back, man. I saw a post
The
about
interview,
him.
yes.
I saw that interview with him.
Made me a little sad, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, because, I kind of had a feeling that,
Yeah.
when you mess up on that big of a scale
And that bad, too.
and how many people will still talk about it, like, it was one of those games that people are still talking about it. They're still talking about the mistake. They're still talking about him. They still remember him for that. This is going to be a really big game for him. And he expressed that. He expressed it on Twitter where we had reposted it, and he was like, yeah, it really messes with me, that whole, that whole incident, but you have to learn from it. You have to take away from it. You know, he had that podcast with Kevin Byard.
Yes.
And he was like, yeah, you got to learn from it. You got to, you got to just keep moving on. And that was, and you kind of saw how he was like, yeah, it messed with me. That, it makes me feel for him, but like the way that he handled it and the way that he seems to be handling it, it's so mature. Like, I could not, like, I would be so poopy and down in the dumps about it. And I'd be like, oh my God, I'm like the worst player on this team. But that's, that's that athlete mentality that you have to play that game. So,
yeah. And it touches on the culture shift too, because if this was Eberflus's team last year, that conversation wouldn't have been held at all. And Tyreek Stevenson took such a major jump. The culture, the staff around him, they helped him get his head right. And I know you agree with me on that.
Yeah.
He's in a better headspace. He's working hard. We'll talk about how good he's been lately. He's been unbelievable. He's been coaching up these young guys too, because we have younger players on this team as well. And even though he's young himself, we knows what he's capable of. We all know. And there was another interview where he said, like, yeah, I'm going to tell my kid about it in the future. Like, he's willing to take full accountability that Tyreek Stevenson's going to tell his kid, like, hey, I messed up. If you see this clip, like, it was me. Like, he's willing to embarrass his own self to his child, And that speaks volumes about a guy like Tyreek Stevenson. He's going on dealing with these problems, right? He's going on talking to people, addressing it formally, not making excuses for anybody saying, oh, yeah, the team distracted me or the team vibe was this and this. No, he took accountability. So it's my fault. It won't happen again. It took a toll on me, but I'm willing to go out there and work harder than anybody out on that field. And I think that's very admirable of him. Do you agree?
Yeah. It's just about that accountability. If you're not willing to kind of be like, hey, I messed up here. I know what I need to do. I know the type of player that I am, and not lose that confidence the same way that I'm pretty sure Eberflus was a big reason why he lost that
Absolutely.
confidence.
I mean, the whole team lost their
and
confidence.
Just how the locker room reacted and how Eberflus allowed the locker room to react. That's a big thing. How the coaches let the locker room react. Because at the end of the day, the coach, that trickles down to everybody. How they feel about players, how they use certain players. And he was out for one point. He was like a healthy scratch.
Yeah, they benched him. Terrell Smith.
Yeah, for Terrell Smith. So it was like, that was demoralizing. It was purposefully demoralizing, and it was dumb. It was really dumb to kind of bench him like that, have him lose his confidence, not be able to come back in that next game kind of with a fire under his butt, and be like, hey, I'm ready to prove myself again. They gave him too much time to sit with it and messed him up. But, I'm glad he's able to kind of sports psychology his way out of that. And
we need him now.
He's been a much
ever.
Stronger player, which is very good. But somebody that he would probably have to go against, Terry McLaurin. We just saw the Washington injury report. It's looking like he might be out.
Yes, thank God. And like you mentioned, we need Tyreek Stevenson more than ever. And now that he doesn't have to guard the wide receiver number one, this makes his job even easier.
A very good wide receiver.
Very good. High end. Despite not being very good this year, he's still capable of breaking one or two. And having him out while Tyreek's fully healthy at the peak of his career right now, 2 elite weeks, I'm excited. And Terry being now helps him a lot because who's wide receiver one for them now? Debo?
He
shouldn't have a single problem for Debo. And if he's not, he's going to be playing hurt.
And we played well against the 49ers when Debo was their one, even when they had Ayuk.
Yeah, and he did his thing. Like, Tyreek Stevenson can more than enough handle himself against Debo. And if not Debo, the other receivers on that team. Like, they don't have Miami Brown.
That the biggest concern that we're going to have is Bill Krosky. Okay. I think that just, he's had that 3-touchdown game. He has proven that he can be that workhorse back that they need him to be and fill in when the offense is struggling, and he's been that guy. And we've had a very weak run defense so far, which is concerning. You have an ascending rusher, and then you have a descending rush defense.
That's the problem.
That's not a good mix if you're, on the defense.
Look at that Vegas game.
I think, we have to be ready. We have to have a guy playing spy.
Yes.
We have to be ready for them to have a lot of different plays that are going to mess with our heads, especially with Jaden being back. That's going to be big. That's a multi-faced offense where they can run with Jaden. They can run with Bill. They can run around with Debo. Yep. That's going to be a bit of a scary game where they can definitely take advantage of our gaps in our defense if we are not careful and prepared. So I think, what we have to do is we have to worry about the run. That's going to be our first priority.
Absolutely.
Fix the pass, not the pass rush.
Pass rush 2 actually is a good point, too.
Yeah, pass rush 2, just getting that pressure on Jaden, kind of keeping him in a box is going to be very important, making sure that he can't use his legs. You kind of bring Tremaine out now that he doesn't have to be that one guy. Or you could even play Sewell in a kind of Sam role, like how we played Jack Sanborn.
Yes.
I think that there's a lot of ways that we can do this.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to turn out the way that I think it is because it's the Bears.
Of course.
But, man, I really want us to win this game. But what do you think?
Yeah, so before we go on to a little ad break here, I agree. We really need to put everything in here. Like I've said multiple times, this is the most important game of the season. A lot of people are not counting our wins for some odd reason. They're saying they weren't impressive. If we can prove we can beat a team like the Commanders, and if we go out and beat the Commanders and people are still not impressed, I don't think we're impressing anybody at that point. It's the Bears tax, but we should win. We have everybody healthy. We have all the momentum after being down 2, going up to 2-2, coming off a bye week, able to game plan 2 whole weeks for the Commanders on prime time, a team we have a personal vendetta against. Everything's on our side to win. If everything's in our favor, we still do not come out on top of this game. We need to have serious conversations about Ryan Poles and his lack of addressing certain positions depending on what happens.
Yeah.
But we need to roll players into that box more and make a heavier box because it feels like sometimes we run way too light down in that middle. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Like we'll take Jervon out and we'll put in like Billings and like a bunch of light guys in.
Yeah.
We need to have a heavier front and make it hard. We need somebody to just eat up the linemen like Billings.
We need those 2 guys in the interior to be the anchors.
Exactly. We need our anchors, and it comes down to our anchors doing what they have to do. Billings and Grady should be those anchors. Absolutely. Then go ahead and roll Dio in, Austin on the other side, and Montez, and make sure that Jaden does not have enough time to read the defense. That's the key to victory.
Yeah.
Making a rookie who has not been that impressive all this year besides last game, right? Struggle. Make him struggle. Make him read the defense. Make him use his legs when he doesn't want to because he is coming off an injury. He doesn't want to run the ball because he can't take another hit to the ribs, which is what he was dealing with. That's what we should
Target
be worried
his
about.
ribs. Go after him.
If you're gonna allow
Bounty
play,
gate.
yeah, I mean, but if you're gonna allow a play, like you mentioned, play physical. Make sure your presence is known.
Yeah.
And we're gonna touch more about presence being known. We'll be back, guys. Our one more ad break. It is Bear Down Breakdown. We'll be right back, guys. Hello,
Yes.
Season 2, Bear Down Breakdown, Episode 4. We're happy to be back, right? I guess before we go into the final segment, let's just talk about how happy we are to be on here. And yeah, I mean, we have time, right? We'll talk about how much we enjoy this show and kind of we're like bringing on our guests and what we're going to do.
Gratitude hour?
Yeah, it's gratitude hour.
I guess we're having an hour of gratitude. Yeah, this is great, man. You know, just the opportunity to be on here and speak to all these amazing guests and to all the amazing people that we've been able to work with and have on. It's a great time, man. So, you know, always appreciative to be able to come on here Fridays 5 to 6 and do our thing. But,
I agree. And then we need to give a shout out to our boys over at Windy City Sports. They made us admin just in their thing.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
Middle of getting a pastrami sandwich, we see that.
Yeah, they've been very good to us. They've been there since the start, so always appreciative for their help and their boost in our ratings. So you got to give them a shout out. Wearing one of their shirts right now, as you can see. Oh, where is it? Gotta get it down. Mad Mac.
We're repping the shirts, man. We have to.
Yeah, gotta give them a big shout out. They've always been supporting us and reposting our stuff. And,
good merch going on.
They kind of were our first real big supporters. So
exactly.
Big shout out to them.
Big shout out to them. And now back to the scheduled thing we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Commanders.
Terry McLaurin. He's out.
Yes, he's out. He's probably going to be out. No way he plays.
Yeah, no. I was looking in the comments of the Commanders, and there were a lot of people saying that he's like just quit on them.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
He got paid too, which is funny.
Yeah. He gets paid and then he's out. It's like, okay.
Interesting. He hasn't done great to begin with. He's shown minimal effort. And another thing that happened was that like he's been a real diva not getting the ball.
Yeah, that was shocking because he was always like kind of the humble guy.
He was, yeah.
He was always the...
You finally have a real quarterback. That's how you act.
Yeah, you finally get a real quarterback. You finally get somebody who's going to throw you the ball and actually it's going to hit you in both your hands.
Yeah, in stride.
And now you want to have like a boo-boo baby fit. Like, come on. Like at some point, just get with the program. You've been doing this for too long. He's what, 29?
Yes.
So he's been in the league for like 8 years now. I get you haven't had the best quarterbacks, but now you do. You had an MVP candidate.
Game away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah, now's the time to lock in. You got to lock in and understand, hey, we have a chance here. We still have our coach, still have our quarterback, still have an okay defense, up-and-coming running back, and a reloaded offensive roster. They got to, I hope they don't lock in for our game.
Yeah.
That's my hope.
I don't either.
I hope he doesn't have a change. I hope he doesn't have a change of heart randomly and says, "I love being on the Commanders. Let me play."
It would happen to us too.
That would only happen to us. The same way that we had the Ashton Genty breakout game.
We called it.
We can't even call this stuff. Like, let's look. The Bears are going to have an amazing game. We're going to score 50 touchdowns, and we're going to just absolutely decimate the Commanders.
We're gonna win. I don't think there's a way we lose this game. We simply cannot.
Oh, don't say that.
There's too much writing on this game. That's the problem here. Ben Johnson wants to go out. This is a statement win. If Ben Johnson wins here, this is the statement win. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
This is a statement win here. We go out, have a good performance because we almost beat them with terrible offensive everything, right? Caleb's capable of doing what he has to do. And I think this is a game where Caleb is starting to find his footing even more. He had it, but a little bit inconsistent last week. A new O-line switched up on the left side. The whole O-line's fully healthy now. We're locked in. Only 0 sacks allowed by Jonah Jackson, by the way, and Tooney. Unreal. O-line's locked in. The running back room worries me a little bit, but if they do just enough, I'm okay with that. If we're able to at least accumulate 80 yards between our backs and let our receivers just go down and win against that sorry secondary and run past their linebackers, because outside of Branky Louvu, Bobby Wagner sucks. He's slow. He can't read defenses.
Old
too. He just cannot be the same player he was. He's super slow at the point of attack. We should win this game. There's way too much on this, and Stevenson's going to play his absolute heart out. Do you agree?
Oh, God, I hope so.
He has so much writing on this game for himself, too. He cannot play bad against the Commanders. He simply cannot.
No.
It's not feasible for him. And for his career, he just can't. He can play great the whole year, but it's not going to matter when we need him the most right now.
Let's just hope, man. Let's just hope. But let's kind of move on here. The game against the Commanders. I mean, we've already been talking about it, so what are your predictions? Do you think that we win?
We should win. I don't. I want to say we win. I don't want to give the Commanders a win. Why would I do that?
No.
Right? It's a new rivalry. It reminds me when Peyton Manning and Tom Brady played all the time. The Denver, maybe Denver sometimes, but earlier Colts and Patriots game. That's how it feels right now.
Well, let's just say right now this is more like Fields versus Lawrence kind of thing.
Okay,
they're not at that GOAT level yet.
Okay,
but it's going to be that same debate that's constantly going to be had. But this time we're on the receiving end of it, and we are the Jaguars, and they're like the Bears, where we think that we have this like godsend of a guy, but they picked second.
Exactly.
But it's going to be one of those things that's going to constantly be a narrative. We have to get used to it as Bears fans.
Unfortunately, no matter how good Caleb plays, he's always going to get discredited.
Well, he's going to get compared. He's going to get compared to all the other guys who came before him. He's going to get compared to May. He's going to get compared to Daniels. He's going to get compared to Nix. It's going to be all of these different comparisons that he's going to deal with. And I think Caleb, he's fine. He can handle it. But we as the fans have to take a step back. Ooh, almost spilled it on my computer there. But, yeah, we got to take a step back. We need to understand, hey, our guy is our guy. We wanted him. We didn't want Daniels. We didn't want May. We didn't want Nix. We wanted Caleb. We have to stick with Caleb. We need to, channel, blinders are on. We need to make sure, hey, this is our guy. We're going to stick behind our guy. Because, if the city's behind him, then, you can't really stop him, right? Like, you got to have everybody behind him. You can have your critics. You can have all that. But, let's rally behind Caleb. Let's be like, hey, he's our guy. He's been performing absolutely amazingly this season. So, I don't feel any need to compare him with Jaden, especially with how he's been. Has Caleb been injured so far?
No.
So, Jaden's been injured, but that's also because of the fact that they have him in rushing packages. But,
exactly.
Yeah. But my take for this game, I think we win, but I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be one of those games where, with McLaurin out, it's going to likely be an asterisk. Sorry, geez, can't pronounce anything.
Just like me.
Yeah, but we're having a sick day, man. This is
we
not
are.
Good.
The flu game, bear down, breakdown.
Yeah, flu game, bear down, breakdown. But it's going to be an asterisk game where they're going to say, oh, well, we didn't have Terry. Oh, we didn't have this, which is fine. I can take it. A win's a win. It's going to be one of those games that we're going to probably win, and they're going to be like, oh, well, we didn't have McLaurin. Jaden wasn't fully healthy. Whatever. We're moving on next week. But I don't know. What's your score prediction? I got 24-21 Bears.
I think it's going to be low scoring, like you mentioned. If we score 30, I'd be ecstatic. I just don't know if we score 30 yet, just because It's going to be a gritty, well-fought game, very scrappy for sure. These teams are going to have a lot of hatred and a lot of resentment built up. I think Bears are going to come out on top 28-21. I say we pull away nearing the end of the fourth. It's 28-14. There's like 2 minutes left on the clock, and we just give like the Commanders a consolation touchdown just to end the game.
Yeah, I guess so. But
I would love that.
That would be the hope. That would be the hope. I mean, we made a fool of some good teams. So
We have.
Cowboys. They're okay.
I wouldn't say bad though. They've revamped. Like they gave the Packers, who are supposedly the best team in the NFC now, according to their delusional fans, a run for their money.
Who also lost to the Browns, they did lose to the Browns.
Yeah, they lost to the Browns.
Cincinnati again, who has the same quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's a crazy situation.
It all comes around in some sort of ways, and looking forward to the game. So 24-21, 28-21. I think Bears should be dominant on this. I'm just a little worried about the run game. But let's talk about the game outlooks coming up.
Yeah.
Kind of how we feel about them. Are they really a threat or not? And kind of just overall what we think about these matchups.
Let's do a quick fire thing. I'll do win or loss.
Okay.
And then we'll get into it. Okay?
Saints.
Win.
Ravens.
Lose.
Bengals.
Win.
Giants.
Win.
Vikings.
Lose.
Okay. You think we go into the Vikings? That's interesting. Now, talk to me about the Saints really quick.
All right, Saints, that should be an easy win. Spencer Rattler is absolutely abhorrent as a quarterback and is probably going to be out of the league within the next 3 years. That is a rebuilding team under Kellen Moore that is likely not going to see any success for the next 2 years. Kamara's probably gone. They haven't been good since Michael Thomas was there.
Yeah.
Like, who else do they have on that team besides
Chris Olave,
DeMario Davis?
He's been in trade talks too. That's how you know it's
and
bad.
like Brian Brzee, who's okay.
Yeah.
But, like, they don't have anybody. Like, there's no way. If we lose to the Saints.
And I'm going to this game.
Yeah, that would be embarrassing. But Ravens, I think that they'll get Lamar back. And
he's out for this week.
He's out for this week, but I could totally see him
coming back. But 2 more
back.
weeks worth of health, he'll be back.
That's a little scary. So, you got to deal with him. You got to deal with Derrick Henry and then Zay Flowers. And then they have a really good offensive line.
Yeah,
their defense can heat up. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Hamilton, Jair Alexander, like these are guys. Marlon Humphrey, like in their
Roquan, former Bear.
Roquan, who's probably going to be back. These guys are going to be impact players, and they're going to have a vendetta against us. Like, I think that we lose that game simply because we're just not ready to compete with those kind of teams yet.
That's fair.
Bengals, I think we can win. We're facing off against Joe Flacco.
Or Browning, depends who they want to play at that time.
Yeah, I don't think they play him. But, depending on which quarterback we're facing, I think we're still going to win. But that is still a Bengals team with Jamar Chase, with T. Higgins, with
Hendrickson.
With players that, are good, quality guys that are going to be a problem if we do not address them. So that's going to be a big game for Tyreek Stevenson and the rest of his cohorts in the secondary. But the Giants, that's going to be a big game. I can see the Giants going on a run here. I can really see them with Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo just absolutely taking off.
They're scary, man.
And they have been rushing Dart a lot. Dart is he reminds me of Jay Cutler. He reminds me a lot of Jay Cutler.
Touch on that, actually.
He reminds me a lot of like a charismatic Jay Cutler. Or no, let me take that back. He reminds me of, who is it? Did I say McMahon? Right? He's on my shirt, yeah.
Yeah.
Mad Mac.
I mean,
he reminds me of that kind of like punky style quarterback.
That's true, actually.
In his youth years. And I think he is a lot like McMahon, like Cutler, just kind of that quarterback with attitude that really fits with New York, especially Scadaboo.
Yeah.
And then that defense, like, there's no reason they should be 1-4 right now. They are
agree.
a really good team.
2-4 now, granted.
We know about how that is with the Bears, where we have a really good team. It's just being held back. And that, it was because of Russ. They started Russ. They didn't give Dart any time to develop. And now he's in, and now he's doing good. And they're throwing for touchdowns. They're rushing for touchdowns. Scadaboo has 3 touchdowns. That's scary. We have to worry about that, especially against a team like Philadelphia.
Yes.
They were short Jalen Carter, sure. But that's still a good defense. He ran over Zach
Bond. It's a Super
Bond.
Bowl winning team.
He demolished Zach Bond. So, very scary. But then that could totally be a game where we get trapped. And Scadaboo goes for 3 touchdowns again. So, I'm starting Scadaboo for that, but I still think that we can win that. It is a very winnable game. They are not a playoff team.
And their O-line's not very good either.
No, but they have been rushing, and Scadaboo can run all over us, so we have to be careful of that. Vikings, I just don't think that we are ready for the Vikings yet. I would love to be wrong. how about this? I'm going to say 50-50 for that.
That's fair.
50-50 with the Vikings. That's a win or lose game. It can go anywhere. It's really going to depend on how those 4 games beforehand are going and where our momentum is. If we are 4 wins in, that's great. If we lose to the Saints, win Ravens, Bengals, Giants, that would be a really great stretch. I could be fine with us losing to the Saints and then beating Ravens, Bengals, Giants because those are 3 quality teams with good players. Vikings, it's just iffy. But how about you? We're going to hit you with a quick fire. You're going to give me your win-loss.
All right.
All right, first one, Saints.
Win.
Ravens.
Depends who plays, but I'll say loss.
All right, Bengals.
Win.
Giants.
Loss.
Vikings.
Win.
All right, Saints. Why?
Okay, Saints should be an obvious one. Like you mentioned, I don't really trust Rattler. I think he's a little bit better than you give him credit for. He has been a little bit of a better focal point. Alvin Kamara's still there. Like, he's always been a good player. He's consistent. But, I mean, we should win. Their O-line's subpar. Their defense is not really that good. The only guy that's really good on that defense is, Kool-Aid McKinstry, who had 2 picks on Jackson Dart. Actually, they have another guy called Jonas Sanker. Have you heard of him?
No.
Safety, rookie they got this year. Pretty good player, but not enough to change a whole team on his own.
Retired.
Yeah, he did not want to play for them. And is also in Chicago. Like, the Bears have been pretty good at home.
Yeah.
Like, we were projected to lose by a lot here in home against the Cowboys. Showed out for our fans here. We should win here at home against a not too good Saints team. Out-coach him. Like, we should out-scheme Kellen Moore, absolutely. This just doesn't seem like a game you lose at all. And if you lose to this, then, yeah, I mean, I'm going to have a conversation. I'm going to be real mad, too, because if I go to this game and we lose, I'm going to flip. Chairs will be thrown in the parking lot while I'm tailgating.
Yeah, we'll be out for the Commanders game, though, so.
We got to figure this out, man.
Are we going to Snickers?
Maybe. It depends how we feel about it.
Yeah.
If they're going to scare us a lot, maybe not. We'll see.
We may have to have some brewskis at home.
What we may need to do is stress out and close our eyes for this whole game. But Ravens,
Ravens.
I think it's a loss, unfortunately. I think Lamar comes back. Lamar is probably coming back, to be honest. He's out this week. He'll probably be out next week. Knowing the Bears' luck, he'd come back against us. Roquan's going to be back. Nadabike is out for the whole year, though, their best defensive lineman. They traded Odafe Owe, so they're not down another pass rusher. But, I mean, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, dude, we're not stopping them. In Baltimore as well, we're not going to stop them there. Absolutely not. And Bengals, Jake Browning, Joe Flacco don't really care. We're going to win. They're just not going to. Chase Brown, their running back, has been subpar. Jamar does scare me a little bit because they gave the Vikings a little bit of a scare. Is it the Vikings? No, Lions. The Lions, my apology. The Lions a little bit of a scare, but, I mean, it's the Bengals. Their defense still sucks. Yeah. Outside of Hendrickson, nobody's good. Should be a win. And I think is in Cincinnati, but regardless, I don't think them being in Cincinnati does anything. Bears fans travel pretty well. Yeah, you might want to put that tea away.
Yeah, I might.
What do they tell you, man? And then I have us losing to the Giants. I brought this up last time. They feel like a trap game to us.
They are.
We're in Chicago, but they've had our number for no reason. In 2018, they had our number. In 2019, we beat them somehow. Then 2020, I'm pretty sure we didn't play them. In 21, we lost to them. Daniel Jones cooked us that game. 22, we lost to them again, and we haven't played them since. Every time we play them, we somehow lose to them. Now you have a better quarterback than Russell Wilson. You have Scatterboo, who's been unbelievable. There's a chance we win this. I'll say 50-50 because I think Wan'Dale Robinson's not that good a receiver. Outside of him, there's nobody else on that team. I do like their D-line a lot, though. I think they're going to give us problems on the O-line. Abdul, Dexter, former Bear, Roy Robertson-Harris has been having a pretty good year with them. Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, if he's still there at that time. They can always rush their linebackers, Okereke and McFadden. I like Cordell Flott. They have Javon Holland in safety.
Yeah.
They have good players.
A worthy team.
A worthy team, I'll say. One of the better defenses we'll play all season, I say.
It's not reflective of its record.
No, and that's all because of Russell Wilson. It's as simple as that. And the Vikings, I think we beat the Vikings. There's a chance that J.J. McCarthy is not going to be playing for that game still. Carson Wentz isn't going to give us any issues. Their run game's not been that good. Jordan Mason's a bum. And their O-line's out. Christian Darrisaw's been having issues coming back. Will Fries has been the only player that's been healthy. Ryan Kelly's out with a major concussion. Their left guard's hurt. Their right tackle's hurt too. Brian O'Neill's out for a long time. This is a weak O-line. A team we played once already, we simply cannot allow to lose to again. Ben Johnson won't allow it. I say we go 4-2 in the stretch. I say we drop a tough one of the Ravens. We lose in probably a heartbreaker to the Giants, even though we should beat them. We might not. I'd be okay
Just got to
losing.
shut down Scatterboo.
I agree, and there's a chance that does not happen because he's such a physical, scampy runner.
Brisker is going to get another concussion.
Him and Brisker are going to go
Bam.
at it. They're just going to go head-to-head with each other. And if we beat the Vikings, there's no way we should lose to them. Now, in the topic of beating and ending up somewhere, do you see playoff push being reasonable for us in this last 10 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah.
How reasonable? How
Wild
realistic?
card.
Wild card. With what record do you anticipate?
10-something.
I can agree. I think 10-7 is fair. We don't really have that hard of a schedule. How everybody's been playing here on out, like a lot of these teams are injured and not playing very good either.
Yeah, I see the Packers taking a slide. I could see us placing over them.
I think we
be
should.
amazing.
Number one's still going to be Detroit. Detroit's Detroit.
It's going to be between Detroit and the Vikings. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I don't think the Vikings are going to be number one, to be honest. It should be Detroit, probably Green Bay, and then us. I could see the Vikings going down to fourth.
No.
McCarthy's not good. That's the problem.
I just say wait. I say Kevin O'Connell is tricky. He just needs time to figure that out. Because, like, if he can make Sam Darnold look good, I mean, God. Like,
that is true.
Carson Wentz, former guy who was an MVP candidate, like, it's not bad.
No.
It's just he's not good right now. And I think they got to work on that scheme. They got to get
true.
creative.
That is true.
And that defense, still stifling. It was hard for us. So, we got to be careful. Got to be careful.
And on the topic of being careful, we actually have some pretty tough opponents going on. We played the Eagles on Black Friday. They haven't looked good, man. So, I mean, can we upset the Eagles?
Yeah.
In Philly?
Anything's possible.
In Philly, though.
Anything's possible.
I can agree. Steelers come to town after the Vikings game. Then we play the Eagles on Black Friday, which I'm very intrigued. With how bad they've been playing, I could see the Bears winning upset fashion, especially if Caleb is firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, that's
right?
the hope. That's the hope.
Then Bears-Packers in Lambeau.
I have us winning.
In Lambeau?
Yes.
I like that. Bears-Browns here in Chicago.
Come on.
Should win. Their defense is really good, though.
For real.
But their defense, Myles Garrett.
Yeah, they just traded, like, their best corner.
That is true, Greg Newsom. But then Denzel Ward's still there, though.
So,
But they don't have a guy on the other end because Tyson Campbell's not very good. Packers come here.
I think we could split it.
I'd rather
I hope
lose
not.
in Lambeau and win here just because it's home.
Yeah,
Then Bears-49ers.
oh, come on.
I don't know.
It depends on when they get all their guys back. If
I'm more
Kittle's
scared
back,
of Mac Jones and Purdy. Purdy's been abysmal.
Yeah, he's just been injured.
That's the problem.
But it's going to depend if they get Ayuk back.
If McCaffrey's rolling.
McCaffrey isn't injured by that time.
That is true.
He's going to get injured at some point. It's death taxes and Christian McCaffrey getting injured at some point mid-season.
Not really a shocker. And then we end the season with Detroit here in Chicago in
I
Week
think
18.
We win it.
We should win, especially if that's a do-or-die situation.
Johnson's going to be up all night like, I'm running.
Yeah, and here in Chicago, he wants revenge. And imagine the Bears are sitting at 9-7, winning you're in, losing you're out.
Yeah.
Do you really think Ben Johnson's going to allow us to lose and go out?
Nope.
It can't simply see that. Winning you're in, we get over as a 7 seed in the playoffs. I think the Bears could go in there, win a game. If not, we should be ecstatic that we got in the playoffs. And next year, will you go ahead and go and retool and you get what we need, right?
Yeah.
And I guess the final conversation we have is, do we think about starting Colston Loveland and sitting Kmet? Because we've been still starting Kmet. He's been making me very mad.
Yeah, I would just
very
say
mad.
Time. Give it time for him to develop. We need to make sure that Colston can actually fit in that one role before we do so. And Kmet is still that.
Would you
alpha
give him
guy.
more snaps though?
Yes, 100%. I'd even have him in a 2 tight end scenario.
Absolutely.
Where you can take advantage of Kmet's blocking.
Play
and
action.
And then have Loveland.
Run a boot.
Yeah, just anything. Like
Something
get him out
simple.
there. Get him some cardio. Even.
Get his hands warm. Get him ready. Get him feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just have him always ready for that, and I think that's probably going to be the best solution.
I agree. I want to see him on a higher snap count for sure because if we're seeing Cole Kmet out there, I'm going to be highly disappointed. 12 personnel set. I would love to keep Kmet in blocking. And I want to see Colston Loveland get vertical.
Mm-hmm.
Have him go vertical and just give him a shot, man. He's 6'6". Let him go. Let him just win. You know what I mean? He's a big guy, lanky, but he's done big things that he's been praised for. Mm-hmm. So we should get him the ball and make sure
him 11th for a reason.
Exactly. And we should be able to win with him. And I know Ben Johnson loves him. So that's his guy. So we should look into that. And one thing I didn't mention earlier for running backs, and I guess trading for some.
Sure.
If we don't trade for a running back, how big of a problem do you see that being later down in the season because teams who run the ball well do well.
Yeah, it's going to depend. It's going to depend on where we're at, and let's have this conversation once the trade deadline is over.
That's fair. Week 8. I'm pretty sure we play the Steelers week 8, so we're gonna see how everything goes. I want a strong run game against them. Now, if the let's just say the Jets call us, be like, hey, we want Cole Kmet and a 3rd-round pick. We'll swap with you one of our backup tight ends. Are you gonna do it?
Cole in a
for
5th.
Brees.
Cole in a 5th.
I can agree. Cole Kmet's still a solid player.
That's basically like giving them a 3rd and a 3rd. Like, why would we do that?
I agree. That's what Jets fans want, which is a little crazy.
It would have to be Kmet in a 6th.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's
Kmet
fair
in a 5th or a 6th. The most I would do.
I wouldn't give up too much for Brees. He's on a contract year.
No.
What if we just don't keep him?
We gave up a 4th for Tooney, and we gave up a 4th for Keenan Allen. So,
we can, yeah. And this is not a premium position either. We can always just wait for Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, the valuation, you have to be careful, especially with how injured he's been. Like, does he truly elevate this team to where we want to be?
Maybe. But maybe is a maybe.
Is maybe enough to do it.
I agree. It is maybe enough to propel and justify sending a high pick and Cole Kmet.
Compared to somebody like Alvin Kamara, who, if you were to trade, I would be comfortable with trading Cole in a 4th for Alvin Kamara.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Rushing, he hasn't ever had 1,000, but, man, he's just so amazing. You don't need that, though. His rushing attack, he's so quick. His age and injuries, he's been unbelievable. And him in the passing game, he's way better than Swift.
Oh, yeah.
Top 3
100%.
receiving back. Him on, like, multiple wildcat routes with Rome, Loveland, DJ, Luther, Olamide, like that would be lethal.
And you get him out on a pitch, he's great in space.
He's gone.
He knows how to find those.
He played with Drew Brees as well. We got to talk about how invaluable that would be to Caleb.
Also have the Dennis Allen connection.
Exactly, and it would make too much sense for us not to do it. And I think he would be able to offer a lot of help as a veteran presence and a good presence to Caleb Williams. You agree?
Yeah.
We need to bring him in. And I feel like our last topic. Is this it for Braxton Jones? Should we try to explore a trade for him? Should we keep him for the remainder of the year in case of injuries? What really do we see for him? Do we just trade him and let Trapilo be the swing tackle instead of Braxton? What do we really do here?
Get him off my team.
Really? Ni hao, get ready to learn Chinese, Braxton?
Ni hao, Braxton Jones.
Wow, that quick?
Get ready to learn Chinese. Or I should say Canadian.
Canadian.
CFL.
Yeah, he doesn't play for what is the name? Something like Blue Bombers. Oh, my God. Send him over there, man. Get him out to the Saskatchewan Renegades.
Get him out.
He's got to go, man.
Saskatchewan Renegades.
Yeah, please. I mean, I would call really quick the Chargers to see what they want for him. Be like, hey, can we go ahead and take one of your players from you? I would actually really appreciate if you can get one of their like rotational pass rushers. They do have some guys. Yeah. We're going to check. But with that, guys, it is time. It is due. Next week, we will not be live, guys. We will be on Zoom. Is that correct, Ronan?
I think so.
We might have a guest on that point. We're working on something. We'll be
let
going
you know.
on Zoom.
Make sure to follow us on X and Instagram for all of our updates.
Yes.
Bear Down, Breakdown, RDSE for both. And, yeah.
Yes, please follow us on there. Keep posted. Stay in the loop. And we're always happy to have you guys on. This is Bear Down Breakdown 10-10-25, Season 2, Episode 4. I'm Gustavo Arriaga with my co-host.
Ronan Clark.
We'll see y'all later.